Well, we're back again. Since when? I don't know. It's a good question. You tell me. When were we last here? When were we ever here? So, yeah, this was... oh, God. I'm on a different computer. Yeah, again, this one is slower, shittier, worser in every way. But I can leave this plugged in as a dedicated streaming laptop and not piss about anymore with my actual thingy laptop. So this can be an idealised little workspace I can stream from, but it's not really set up yet. In fact, actually, it hates using my tablet. Let's just switch this over to wired instead of wireless, and hopefully the drivers don't shit themselves. Let's give that a go. It's no better. Oh, hang on. Nope. Nope, that's just stopped working. Oh, there we go. Hey, that is no better. Bit of lag there. Great. Okay. As you can see, the screen's very large. So what we're going to do first off is install some stuff. I'm going to do a new window. So the title of the stream is a little bit of a lie, right? I'm saying SVN in 2026, but I did that on a previous stream for about 20 minutes earlier on today. And the outcome of that very quickly was, oh my god. So I was sort of like saying to myself, prompt, hang on a second, Mac terminal. I was kind of saying to myself, a sec, was like, you know, is there a world where actually for certain very specific, oh gosh, hang on, can I? Oh, I've got it. I have it. Aha. Excellent. All right, that's fine then. That's good. Okay. Prompt. I have it. Hey. There we go. Look at that. Would you look at that? Fancy. Yeah, so, sorry, I'm trying to multitask and, you know, being a man, I just can't fucking do it. Oh, wait. Limited free mode. What's the limited free mode? Limited free mode? Okay, local only. That's great. Download and stop. Allow. I'm doing something on the screen. So yeah, the idea of that, I was doing a terrible job of this. So the idea of that other stream was, right, if you're doing something very simple, half for shits and giggles, right? So back in the day, up until about 2010, I used SVN. In fact, I say up until, I probably used SVN for like under a year, maybe a year or two, I can't remember. And then, like the rest of the entire universe, I moved to Git, right? Oh. There we go. Let's go. Nice. Oh, update required. Sorry, a sec. Local terminal. There we go. Look at this. Right? Wonderful. That's horrendous, that prompt. Let's just change the theme on that. Let's make it whatever the dark mode is. Dark. Actually, this is like, to be like proper like dev mode, you know, speak like the fancy kids, let's put the entire OS in dark mode. Appearance, let's just do dark mode. And we make it cyberpunk by making it dark mode and make the highlight color purple. Yeah, now we're fancy. We're going about. Right, so there we go. We have a terminal. So yeah, the idea of that previous stream was, right, in certain scenarios, would SVN still sort of, kind of, in a way, maybe, possibly make sense? The answer was very quickly no. So, like, I went on this whole journey, not journey, a thing that I've sort of been more attuned to recently is when it comes to technology, is the most popular thing the best thing? So if you're like a JavaScript developer, you're used to a lot of churn, right, in the ecosystem, and I found that very tiresome, right? So I was like, not actively, but I end up sort of inadvertently seeking out and finding are less popular or less sort of zeitgeisty technologies still really good. Because something's popular doesn't mean it's the best thing. In fact, sometimes, look at Gatsby, it isn't the best thing. So, you know, trends come, trends go, and history, much like version management, is not linear. there's, the thing at the top is not necessarily the best one, as we can all attest to. So like, maybe there's something about that workflow. It's much simpler, and also, in a low key way, I wanted to get away not so much from Git, but from GitHub, right? But also for like certain projects, I don't need the overhead of Git, right? It's not a case of even Git's really a problem. To be honest, part of it's just kind of fun, really, for shits and giggles. But also, yeah, I want to get away maybe from GitHub. The problem is I can't get away to the two biggest alternatives, that being Codeberg and Source Hut, because Codeberg is just GitHub but worse. And Codeberg is like, it's like GitHub but worse. I appreciate what it is, but it's like that thing of when Twitter became owned by, what's a nice way to put it, cunts. Everyone was obviously very upset that they had to sort of commingle with a bunch of, actual Nazis, and instead of moving away, which they a lot of them did, this whole sort of thing happened with like Mastodon and like Threads being probably the most credible alternative, really, and the other one, Blue Sky. So they just sort of fractured small parts of their audience. The people who left generally moved away with their current group of friends pretty much forgetting them or following them, but for the most part forgetting them, to a smaller place which they don't ever go to anymore. So half of them came back and just got on board with the idea of hanging out with Nazis and just ignored them. And that's what I mean, like, not saying GitHub's Nazis, but GitHub's Microsoft, and that's not much better. Sorry, I can't compare Microsoft to... No, that's not fair. But, Microsoft are a shitty company, and also, I think there's going to come a time pretty soon where they're going to start shitifying GitHub rapidly, more than, GitHub being not a perfect platform. I'm not upset with GitHub. I actually quite like the product itself. I just don't like Microsoft. I don't hate GitHub. I hate that it has some like issues now and again. But yeah, like all that's going to happen with something like Codeberg is just you need that mass migration event right at the start. Otherwise, these things just wither on the vine, right? We've seen it. So yeah, and GitLab is still GitLab. It's second fiddle. It's never going to be a really good play. Like, do you get that thing every time you go like, oh, I've got let's go this open source thing, and it's on fucking GitLab, and you roll your eyes and you're like, oh, so I can't do I need accounts, do PRs, what do I, and you just download it and you go, oh, I don't want to do this. Codeberg's that, and then you've got the other one, which is was it Source Hut, I think. Source Hut, which is similar, but it fucking looks like this. Hang on, hold up. Let's go to a thing that I know exists. Let's do Cocoon. What was it? Tristia, and that is on Source Hut. So the difference is Source Hut just looks like fucking this. It's similar, apart from actually, it's what? It's got that sort of like edgy Y Combinator, a developer threw us together better things to do aesthetic, which is not necessarily a problem as an aesthetic when functionally it's good. This functionally is not especially good. So if it worked well and looked like this, cool. But it looks like this and it doesn't work that well. And being I am a designer first, I mean, like even that shit, like between these two views, it moves around. That's the thing. Like, I know I'm a design boy, I'm a wanker, but here's the thing: there's a degree to which what I do is not making pixels, it's making things usable, and this is shit. So I wouldn't use this either. So going back to my main point was, for certain projects, open source stuff is just going to stay all on GitHub, but I wouldn't mind the things I do that aren't public repos, I wouldn't mind not doing in GitHub. And also, I don't really care if it's Git, because I'm not necessarily wedded to the workflow. If they're personal projects, I don't actually... Do you know what I mean? I'm not taking PRs from people. It's fine. It's all me. So I was like, not necessarily for like a big project, but yeah, maybe SVN can make sense. And the test was dot files, right? So my current setup of dot files, I use something called Chez Moi or Chez Moi. Chez Moi. This. And I was like, oh wow. And I saw like Stowe was a bit like faffy. And then I saw this. And I was like, oh, this looks good. Read it. Oh, this looks good. Started using it. I fucking hate it. It's just so annoying. It's so annoying. I was like, why did I do this to myself? This is stupid. And like my dot file's not even fucking public, so all the stuff in here like obfuscating keys. I'm like, I had to basically like I caught it like instantly, but I put like it wasn't like a sensitive key. It was like a throwaway key, but I accidentally lobbed that. You know, such a pro. I lobbed that into my GitHub, and before then my dot files are public, and now they're not. In part because no one's going to look at them anyway, no one gives a shit. But also, why do they need to be public? And also, why do I need to fuck about with Git for dot files? I just need like some sort of history of them, right? There's no branching going on. There's no like whatever. It's just a bunch of like YAML and fucking shell scripts and whatever bullshit that I don't need to manage especially well. So I was like, that's not a bad place to test out this idea. So then that led me to SVN, and the best thing about SVN is, and you know, saying before going into like what is what is like with the old school thing. Like I'm a massive fan of Rails. Right, Rails is amazing. It's it's not very shiny anymore. It's fallen to that sort of like boring software category where like it's not the sexy thing anymore. It lost some of its popularity, quite a lot of its popularity to sort of shinier things, but functionally it's still fucking fantastic. And Rails is a little bit the crab of back-end frameworks, where like they go, oh no, we've got to go away from this opinionation. We've got to go away from this opinionation to slowly, the thing with like the SSR stuff with a lot of the JS things like Next.js and stuff are slowly crabbing their ways into much more complicated, less ergonomic versions of the likes of Laravel and Rails. And Laravel is just a Rails clone. So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like Rails is perfect. It absolutely is not. But it's like, it's extremely good. If your end goal is getting software working maintainably and not making that lots of effort, if you're not vibe coding, that is, and just putting trash out, Rails is an incredible place to still be. And there's this whole like subset of extremely like, there's like you get all the like the you get like a GitHub, which is a Rails project, or you get like the Shopify's Rails project. Sorry, Airbnb Rails project. No, but the point is, you get these big companies that shout about their technology, right, or are like sort of very prominent tech hirers or whatever, and then you go, oh wow, that must be what they're using, and you aspire to what they're doing, and then you don't notice the absolute fucking litany of like companies that use either Rails, Spring Boot, or .NET that just tick along, still making millions, right? And it was like, I'm going to be the next Google, and it's like, no, be the next cardoctor.com. You pull out Dents, and it's like a service, but it's big enough to cover like an entire country, and you still turn over like, I don't know, $500,000 a month MRR, and it's fine. I fucking hate saying MRR, but you know what I mean. Like, so many of them just running Rails because they've spent so much less time worrying about their tech stack, wringing their hand. I mean, we're going on a massive diversion here. That's not the point. This is just fun. But yeah, in terms of actually things that matter, actual work, they just get to do their work. It's all predictable. It all works the entire time. And all of the sort of conversations that get people go, oh no, but Rails is slow. It's kind of moot because it's actually not that slow. It's like for the internet serving the shit you get on the internet, it's perfectly fast. Oh, it's a bit expensive to host. It's like infrastructure's the cheapest shit. Like making a very silly, huge like microservice soup for yourself and like being like, oh, let's just do everything. Let's just get Lambda involved. Let's just spend all these AWS credits. That costs so much more than like you can host. I did some Googling on the project I'm working on to host like multi-tenant. It will cost me like per 500 users. It will cost me about $11 per 500 users. But that's not that's not per 500. That's up to a tier. So for the first like 1,500 users, it's $30, and at that point, that 1,500 users takes me to about 3,000 users for $30. By the time I've got 3,000 users, 3,000 paid seats, is $30 a month a problem? What if it was $500? Fuck it. What if it was 1,000? It still wouldn't matter, right? That's the point. And it's not going to be 1,000. It'd probably end up being like, with all the unexpected stuff, it might have been a couple of hundred, right? 500, let's say 600. That's still super low operating costs because infrastructure's not expensive. Staff are expensive. So anyway, and you can do more as a Rails developer with less because, you know, the system's very batteries included. Where am I going with this? Anyway, going back to it. So yeah, sometimes the popular thing isn't necessarily the best thing. And I'm not saying like Rails is the best. I mean, in my opinion it is, but you know, it's still extremely good. So you have this thing saying, well, that's not the new fancy thing. It can't be awesome. So delving, and I've done some other stuff since then. I've gone, what are the things that are less fashionable that you can use that still work really well and solve problems really well? Like the other week, which I need to finish probably on stream, and this is part of this is me procrastinating from doing that, is I built a little utility thing, like a little SAS. Remember SAS? Utility framework thing. It does a lot of what Tailwind does, but less than Tailwind, and it does some other stuff, some different stuff. But it uses SAS because it's a very natural place to do it. I wrote this thing on the weekend, and guess what? SAS is still really good. At some point, it will become actually obsolete, but like to build what I've just built and generate all of these classes is extremely easy. And again, I wrote this whole thing on the weekend, and what I'm dragging my heels on is not writing more of it because it's basically finished. I need to write documentation for it to open source it. It's already open source, but it's just no docs, so no one can use it. And I can write some docs and tell some people, and maybe some people using it. If they don't, that's also fine. But like, do you know what I mean? And SAS is still really good. It's great. If I decided to do this another way, it would have taken me much longer. And the only thing is, when I go, oh no, but you've got CSS with a dependency. It's like, you've got, motherfucker, you've got so many dependencies for everything else. What does one more matter? Well, he doesn't tree shake. It does. Oh, but it's overhead. How much? When your build that you don't need for your website that doesn't need React takes X amount of time because of a config problem, and you're like, what's an extra 300 milliseconds to generate some... Come on, end results matter. Anyway, the point is, so that with that logic in mind and other stuff, those are the two prominent examples. But yeah, is an old thing actually better than you remember? So I asked this question of SVN, and the answer was a resounding fuck no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, so like I had a thing where I was like, maybe I can make this work. So I used to use this client years ago. I was like, oh yeah, how's this go? And I honestly, I'd mostly forgotten how SVN even works, right? So a quick refresher. This is from me, vague, hazy memories of over a decade ago, plus some reading I did in about an hour earlier on today. So clearly I'm an expert. The bare basics are, you see this? Look at that. Oh, that looks lovely. It looks like a nice, pretty Git client. Well, the difference is in here, right? So first off, yeah, SVN is not decentralized. So you've got one central repo. That's your source of truth. Pushing to a repo, you have to be online, right? So, or a commit basically is the same thing as a push. There is no separate idea of a push. You don't keep a copy of it. You download a physical copy of the files associated with it, I guess, and then when you click commit, you push back up to that sort of like master record of the thing, right? Which sounds, oh, nice, cool, very simple. And you see how this is like a nice linear line. You go, oh, wow, okay, that's a okay looking timeline. Why is it linear? It's because branching, man. Branching ain't a thing. This app doesn't do it for a start, but also branching in SVN, which I forgot about, is just an entire fucking copy of the files, right? That lives forever. And it's just a copy of the files. But also I was like, okay, well, that's not necessarily even the end of the world, right? If you're going in something which requires a completely linear, just push only workflow, this might still make sense, right? It's simple to host, it's simple to use, it is very easy, it is very simple. If you don't do much you can branch, it's just a little bit annoying. And if they're non-critical files, again, having them sat on your whatever working copy, because there's no thing as a working copy. It's committed or it's not, right? It's either untracked or it's committed. That's it. So I was like, okay, maybe that still works. And then the real thing that killed it off for me was like, I read a thing and it was like, if you move files, you've got to tell SVN they've moved. By going SVN, instead of doing MV in your terminal, you've got to go, no, SVN, move. Otherwise SVN won't have a fucking clue what's happened. Which is great. It's great. So it's like, this is definitely not workable. But also, yeah, this is definitely not workable. But it was a fun. Well, I say fun. It was not that fun. Let's do a little download of this quickly. Yay! So I used to have a license of this. I checked out earlier, and I can upgrade my license for half price. It's $119, right? Which is £119 in England money. Let's do this. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah, let's move that to applications folder. Why not? You're going to open. I think it's like lovely web page. Oh, this is all pretty, isn't it? Nice. Native and Apple Silicon. Uses modern subversion. Ooh. Don't know what that means. Fresh UI for macOS Big Sur, including dark appearance. Ooh, fancy. I can't branch in this. So, what we'll do, we'll create a local repo, and we'll call this... just use our documents folder, why not? And then we'll call this SVN. Candy spaces. Actually, do one word. SVN test, right? Ta-da! And this is actually this is my actual repo, right? To work on this repo, I pull an entire cut. So this is my repo view, right? So I want to work on it. I'll go here and I'll go checkout. And what I'm doing is I'm just saving. I can't call it SVN test, so I'll call it SVN test working. Why not? Right? There we go. Wonderful. So now I've got my and again, there's something weirdly, I don't know why it is, because you've all used Git so long, a lot of this stuff kind of trips you up, and I don't know why, but it does. So yeah, anyway, we're in SVN test working now, right? So this is our actual SVN. Cool. So let's see what I've got installed on this machine. I don't actually know. Do I have Helix? I do. Oh god, that's so slow. Okay. All right. Well, documents. What's that? Okay. Documents. Excellent. And then where are we? Yes. Here we go. Okay. So let's just go to SVN test working. There we go. And we'll just do HX. And then what we'll do is, and that takes so long to load into Helix. Oh my god. And then what we're going to do is, this is my file. My god. Okay. And then I'm going to call this one hello.txt, right? So then we come back over to here. Come on. Hey, there we go. It picked up. So now we've got SVN text. Let's close our little info bar, because again, this, I don't know why. Keywords? What does this mean? What does any of this mean? Forget that. So now we'll just do add, right? Commit. And we'll go added hello. And then we commit. And then, yeah, there we go. So when you commit, it's already here. So if this is on a server, that commit would have to communicate with the server, right? So if you're offline, yeah. Basically. Yeah, so if you're offline, then sorry. Part of the benefit is that you can check out part of a repo, right? So inside SVN test, if we go in here, right, and we'll just do let's just come out of here, and we'll make like I don't know, let's just do like assets, right? Let's pretend, right? So we've got our assets thing, and then we'll like do like, I don't know. Oh god. Right, hypothetically, come back in here, and then we've got assets, whatever. So we do add. Does that add everything? I don't know. That doesn't reset. Added assets. Right, there we go. Boom. No. Okay. Oh, that's not. Can I do that? Hey, I can. Okay, Cool. Commit. Added assets. There we go. Wonderful. Lovely. So now we've got our, I think come to here, we've got our timeline, right? So yeah, we've got added hello, added assets, twice. Cool. And then, but then what we can do here, for example, so if we go back on here, and we can come in and we can just check out this folder. So we can just check out assets, and we can say, well, yeah, assets, why not? And we can work on this separately. That's kind of fun, right? So, so I know one place where SVN still gets used is video games, right? Because this is nice and simple. So one thing, which is like a little side quest on this, is a while ago, me and a friend, we occasionally work on like game jams and stuff together, and we would always run into problems with Git LFS, right? Git large file storage, and it's very imperfect, and GitHub's got those limitations and whatever, and a lot of game studios and stuff still use SVN because for this sort of thing, if I'm like, he was doing most of the code, I was doing most of the assets and like design shit, so like it means that I can just work in a single folder and I can just push and those things are just available, right? And there's no branching. So in a world where that's the case, that's not actually that bad, right? If you have that sort of like, or a very small, or extremely small team, right, where I've heard anecdotally, apparently merging has gotten better. I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, this isn't actually a branch. This is a checkout of this folder, right? So independent of me in synth test working, SVN test working, if I come back into assets, which I forgot to do last time, and I make like another one, this is like logo .svg, right? And then back over here, inside here, we're in assets. Should oops. Come on. Assets. What? Oh no. Haha. Right, so that's me in the wrong folder. Right, what we're gonna do, can we delete this file here? Can we delete this? Delete. Okay. That didn't work. Anyway, what we're going to do... Wait, we are in assets. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, let's just do this. Yep. And then assets. Okay. Wait. Huh? Sorry, I'm not in my normal setup. There we go, documents assets, perfect. Right, so I'm in the right place. So yeah, so now if I go like, I don't know. I'm using a different keyboard to my other one, and this one's basically black on black, so I can't read the keys. Looks cool though. Anyway, so we've got header.svg, and this, yeah, there we go. So header.svg doesn't work in here, right? So if we just add this quickly, we'll commit that. There we go. Lovely. And now we'll add and then commit this. Added the header, right? Whatever you want to say. Ba-dum-pf. And then we come into here and we will download. So now we should refresh. Hang on. Well, there we go. Icon, logo, header, and if we go into here, this should now have. That's bizarre. So assets now has. So then, how does? Yeah. So that got icon and logo, but if we go into SVN test working, so now our master chap has header, icon, and logo, and hello.txt. Assets has these three, but this only has these two, right? Update assets. Okay, that's weird. Let's try that one more time. So we're still in assets. We'll just make another file. So it's like, I don't know, guy.png. There's nothing in it, but whatever. Who cares? So, yeah, if we go into assets, come on, pick it up. There we go. We've got guy.png. Excellent. So we're going to add that. Guy is here. Right, okay, there we go. So we've added Guy. He is now in here, right? And then inside SVN test working, we have no information. There we go. So now it's saying, oh, that she buggy. So what's that saying there? So this column says to me, can you make this bigger? No. Okay, well, I know what this says already, but I'm trying to just like, so if I click this, no, that's not very good. Okay, well, I think this is basically saying there's an update, right? But it doesn't show the icon. I don't know. Anyway, so we update, and that's gonna update. So now I've got guy here. Wow, that's yeah. So yeah, I can see a scenario, right, where let's say like this guy is like, so let's say this guy's work. So this is being SVN working. If you rename this to, you know, like wherever the, wow, cock, wherever the code lives, right? COD. There we go. So wherever your code lives, right, you have someone working in here and then someone working in here. And actually this workflow makes sense because from what I understand is SVN's very unfussy when it comes to things like graphics and whatever. And, you know, each release, so if you do like a release or a tag or the equivalent of tags, my understanding is that is also just a copy of the thing, right? In the context where that's binaries, that's actually not a bad idea having a copy of it because that's quite a good thing, right? So if it's like a graphics application with like, yeah, let's say a game, right? And you've got video files and you've got audio and you've got gigabytes of assets that go like tens or hundreds of gigabytes of assets that go with it. That's not the only thing. That's not actually the worst thing in the entire world. TBH. But I'm sure, here's the thing with that though, with all of this, I'm sure someone's coming to show all this in the meantime. So my second part was, welcome to the jungle. It's cute. Can you change little icons in here? Edit bookmark, got a little icon. Oh no. See, what they could have done to make this a little bit better is actually do okay. Right. So I know Assembler still does SVN hosting, so let's do that quickly. Assembler. Yeah. Pricing. Is there a free tier still? I bet there fucking isn't. I don't know why there would be. Pricing. There we go. Oh. Okay, so Assembler Cloud. Basic. No. Oh Christ. Hang on, just zoom out. Oh no, well that's not zoomed out. Hang on. Fuck off. There we go. So Assembler Cloud. Basic. Additional paid, Perforce, basic, manage its core, Perforce. Because I know Perforce is also a thing. So like, I worked at a company previously. Fuck all the way off. I don't want you ever again. Go away. Yeah, I worked at a company that used Perforce. Because they had like, again, like big binaries. Yeah, so there you go. Ramiro Games. Look at him. Oh. But I thought they still did SVN. Because, yeah, I think games is one of the ones where it is. Solutions, cloud hosting. Yeah, for here's and SVN and Git. So I don't know of anyone who. I think because I'm zoomed in, all these files are tiny. Right, so is there a free tier? Or using Perforce? I'm not, actually. And they really push Perforce. Perforce apparently is horrible to work with, my understanding, but for its intended use case, it's actually not the worst thing in the universe. Get a free cloud cost audit. Is there no free tier? Is there no free tier here? Is there no free tier? Because I don't. Oh, hang on. SVN hosting. There we go. Oh, start free trial. Don't mind if I do. Problems with Project Locker. We are the alternative. Wow, I've had so many problems with Project Locker. You know, the biggest one is I've not heard of it, and that's just unacceptable. Europe. Oh, my name is David Davis MP. I was the Brexit secretary. They didn't know that, but I do. Can you imagine if it actually was David Davis? Wouldn't you lose your mind? Of course it's not. All right, we're going to go to temp mail. Temp mail. I need to change keyboards, I think. Because this was doing my fucking head in. Where's my other one? Oh, there it is. Right. Hang on. Ugh. I want to love it. I want to love it. It looks so cool, but I like being able to read the keys. I'm not the kind of person who can just not... Is that working? That is not working. Hang on. Function control... What is it again? Q, I think. Is it Q? Function control... Function Q... Is it that? I've forgotten how to switch this to wired mode. Function control 0. There we go. Function control 0. Are we on wired? Hey, we are. Okay, cool. So, that's a good point. That's my email address. It's really memorable. I love it. It's great. And then I'm just going to do password. 1, 2, 3 exclamation mark. Okay. Capital P. Don't steal this. 1, 2, 3 exclamation mark. There we go. Oh, it's not going to work. It does. Excellent. Fantastic. We're brexit.assembler.com. Yeah, send me emails. Why not? Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, there's no credit card cut. That's good. How much money left after we left the European Union? Let's not do that. Let's not save this email. Hey, there we go. So, confirm email address. Excellent. Come on. Come on. Thank you. David Davis needs to get in. Hello, David. Welcome to us. Nice to have me. I'm glad to be here. Oh God. I wish I hadn't called this Brexit. Shit. Okay, well, we're here now. Don't know what any of that means. Create a repository. I'm going to call this one. Yes, sure. My space name. Oh, bums. Bums. We're doing bums. Space prefix bums. Yeah, we will have a wiki. Why not? Why not? No, not Git. SVN, man. Come on. You need to create your own without structure merge. What? No default structure for trunk. You will need to create it on its own. Without the structure merge request won't work. I don't know what that means. So I'm sure that's fine. Test. It's a test in bums. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Look at that. It's like GitHub, but corporate and probably costs a fucking fortune. So what we're going to do is repository. Okay, let's figure out how to do this. I guess we just go check out. There we go. Prefix like that, and then we just do what was it? David Davis. I think it's David Davis, and then it's password 1, 2, 3 exclamation mark. I think. Hey, that worked. Okay. Wow. Brexit bums.test. Wow, that's fantastic. Pleased with that. Right, so what I'm going to do is, where have we put this? Is this anywhere? Can we just, oh, how do I get this? Hang on. Okay, where's the link to issues? No. Okay, save. And then trunk. Do we check that out? Yes. Okay, Brexit bums trunk. Exactly. Wonderful. Right. So let's go back over to here. Let's do this. Oh, and we can do Brexit, but we can, and we can just do touch bums. Brexit. Oh, if there's a hell I'm going there. Right. So now that should come on. Hey. So we add this, and we're going to do. I'm going to say test. equals. There we go. That's more proper. Test styles, fine. That works. That works just well. So now, there we go. So we committed that, which means this has gone up, and it should now be commits. Test styles. Excellent. So, how do we make a branch? I don't know. Yeah. So there's that. So I've got no idea. There's a merge request. I'm sure that's a bit like a PR, but this bit of software doesn't do branches, and I don't know how to do branches in SVN. So, should we have a look? This is. So should we have a look? SVN. How to branch. The scariest thing is I used to know how to do this. Branching, creating a. If you put okay, right. I can't do that in Tortoise SVN. That beautiful piece of software it looks like. Is there a little 17-year-old question? That's excellent. I love that. Oh Christ. Create new branch using the SVN copy command as follows. You fucking what? No, I ain't doing that. SVN how to branch. Is there... Let's try Red Bean software. Creating a branch. Creating a branch is very simple. You make a copy of your project tree in the repository using SVN copy. Since your project source code is rooted, the directory that you'll copy. So if I just like come to here, right, back into here, and I go trunk, and I just go like hang on, CV, no, okay, right. So if I come into here, right, and I do SVN copy, bums up Brexit. Okay, brew install SVN. Oh yeah, sure. Oh, hello. Let's just cancel that. So it's saying sudo chown stream. It's going to cause a problem, isn't it? USR local homebrew. Excellent. Right, let's try it again. So brew install SVN. Can't create. I just did that. Oh, I hate this computer. I can't be able to fix this. Okay. Bristol SVN is going to bitch at me again. Oh no, it didn't. Huh. That's fun. Hey, it's doing something. So was it SVN copy? Oh, not photos. I haven't got any fucking photos. Hope not, anyway. There we go. Let's get rid of that shit. Bap. So, yeah, so you go SVN copy. So you go SVN copy. Okay, and then into branches. Oh Christ, that's horrible. Wait, so do I need to pull down the? So I've only got trunk. So I do this. I do branches, and I do checkout. Okay. Yes. Excellent. And you can't make a branch from here, can you? Can I do that using the command line? Support. Help. About versions workflow. Timeline, transcript, comparing differences. Browse. Okay, well this... I don't know how they can charge for this. This feels like it's not something that's worth money anymore. It's pretty, I guess. Working with your working copy. Okay. But then, like, updating, reverting? Oh, I don't know. There we go. 5 version 1. Okay, so presumably, let's go back to here. That has no. What are you saying? Permission denied. Okay, I feel like let's do that, and I'll grab this as well. Blindly pasting things into the terminal. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. That's definitely fixed. It's definitely all fine now, isn't it? 100% definitely fine. Oh, I hate that I called this Brexit. That's very sad. I think. Oh, yeah, it's doing something now. No. No, what we talked about this and we agreed. Hang on, SVN, bollocks. Okay, right, forget that. Anyway, right. Can I do it from here? Can I do it from here? Can I do it from? Because without the little command line boy, hang on. Install SVN Mac. Actually, with the hang on. Uninstall Homebrew. Is that the fastest one? Uninstall Homebrew Mac. And you have to put Mac now because Homebrew is also on Linux now. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but how do I? There we go. We've ever uninstalled Homebrew before? Uninstall Homebrew. Okay. And install non-interactive up prompting for password. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Okay, well, who cares? Who cares? I'll just paste one of these into here and we'll see what happens. How about that? Yes. Why not? Oh. 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 Oh, you ruined me. Oh. Poppycock. Thank you. Well, that's not... Okay. Let's just get same again. We'll do this, right? Ask me for a password. There we go. There you got your password. Yes. Come on. You absolute turnip. Oh no, sorry, strong language there. I'm sorry. Come on. Okay, well. Anyway, so... Anyway, yeah, so going back to what I was talking about, let's talk about quickly why I hate this guy. Chez Moi, which is what I said I hated earlier, but I think I finished off why I hated it. So I said it didn't need most of the features, but what it does, right, it creates inside the workflow's just awful. The workflow's annoying, right, for something so simple. The workflow's really annoying. So, I've only got... Okay, we'll do another term. We'll do it... let's do it in the regular terminal. Okay, right. So yeah, then so you got you have to do this Chez Moi. So you make a change, right? And you do Chez Moi. I think it's like Git. I've got a bunch of in my dot files. Funny enough, a bunch of aliases for this. But yeah, they sort of like add that. Or so I think it's just Chez Moi Git add whatever, and then no, I think it's Chez Moi add. No, it is. It's add, right? And then you do this, right? Separately, you don't have to go Chez Moi Git, which I moved into a separate directory, which contains the actual Git repo, and you go into like a little covered up little mini baby Git instance separate from the actual repo, which actually manages the actual dot files themselves. I don't do that bit because it's annoying as fuck, because they've got this other side of the workflow which syncs and pushes separately, so you can do it via Git, but it does something with the other thing. Anyway, it's annoying. It's really fucking annoying. And oh wow, okay, excellent. I've got these. Basically, it's really annoying. So we just don't do that. Right. So let's go back and we're going to install. Keep trying to do that. I haven't got that installed on this computer. It's fine. So Homebrew, that doesn't work. Docs.brew.sh. Okay, installation. Yes. Okay, where are we? Okay, it tells you to fuck yourself and go back to the home page. That's great. Okay, back into here, back into here, back into there. Yes, there we go. And we'll see if this incredibly robust solution to my problem. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Didn't have water with me outside. Okay, wonderful. So, gotta do that. Boop, boop, pow. Gotta do this. Boop, boop, pow. Excellent. I think that is echo. There's two. Okay, then we go to this one as well. Done this in the wrong order, but who cares? And then I can just have to just quickly quit this, and then we go back into prompt. Okay, and then we're just doing press a little command N. That didn't work. Local terminal. I think there's a little thing to make it do this by default. And you ask why I use this? That's a really good question. So right, we'll go into here and we'll just do new tabs open in local terminal. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Prompt is basically like a pretty good SSH adjacent specialized terminal emulator. It's quite good. I quite like it. It's not as good as like whatever. It works. It all works and it works fine. Do I have Zelage installed here? I don't. Okay, so brew. Hey, I have got homebrew. Amazing. So brew install SVN. Brez brew install. I still can't type. SVN. And I've changed to the other keyboard now, the one that I can actually read. So I don't really have an excuse, to be honest with you. Okay. Wow, look at that. Look at all those hashes. Excellent. 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 How many times can I say excellent? That many. I've stopped now. So rewind the audio and count the amount of times I said it. I reckon it was 58. Could be off. Counting's not my strong suit. I'm more of like a pictures kind of guy. Oh, you utter fuck. Okay. We're going to do something awful because I'm going to have to fix this, but I'm going to do this. Oh. Let's do that quickly. I know, right? But okay, yes, cool. This is the great thing about having a throw. This is awful. Don't do this. Oh, I've done it wrong. I've done it the Linux way around, haven't I? Is it which way around is it? I always forget. Doopy 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 doopy. I could Google it, but you know, whatever. Oh, fuck it. Well, anyway, is SVN? It's not installed, is it? SVN. No. Okay. Okay. Brew. Is it fix or brew doctor? Brew doctor. Okay. Brew cleanup. This is tedious, and this is all. I mean, I've definitely broken my home, bro. I've got to go back and fix this entire computer. It's great. It's fantastic, but wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So let's do this one more time. Brew install SVN. I'm glad it stopped me from. See, there we go. Open SS. Open to. What if I just say I don't want OpenSSL? Just SSL is overrated. Just give me an FTP. Just I'll copy and paste. I will print all of it out and I'll post it. I'll send it via courier, carrier pigeon. I'll just communicate it in semaphore. Just install. Balls. Alright. Which way around is it, macOS then? No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. What? But then we're not going to be able to really install anything else with Homebrew being all entirely fine. Let's just try and install something else. Let's just do like, I don't know, brew install Zellige. See if that moans at me. Various other things going to fail. Wouldn't be shocked. Okay, brew link Zellige. Oh my god. Oh, brew. The thing about this computer as well is it's really slow. Oh, fuck's sake. Alright, so. I need to fix my Homebrew. Oh, if you're on macOS, try a new PKG installer. Wow. Okay, let's give that a go. Maybe it rounds off some of the stupids for me. Let's give that a go. I really should stop and do this properly, but I can't be arsed. As much as I'm becoming like a fair... Oh shit, what's going on here? Oh, okay, yeah, now you can download that. Because I'm sort of slowly becoming a massive LLM kind of... Is hater a word? The right way to put it? Trying to avoid them, right? I could say, whoa, let's just install OpenCode and get it. But then I'll install OpenCode, fucking Homebrew. So checkmate, atheists. No, I don't know. Yeah. This is the one I used to use. This is the version of versions I used to have. Don't move. Not for now. Not for now. Okay, well, no, you can move it if it meant you were going to fucking open. Oh, you little sausage. All right, fine. You win. Come on. Sort out. All right, fine. Does it even work on this version of macOS? Versions. Reopen. Do not move. Oh. Ignore. Ah. Okay, well that doesn't work anymore. That's fine. That's to be expected, really. Okay, homebrew.pkg. What's it going to do? All that junk inside them jeans. Is that how that goes? I hate the Black Eyed Peas. Right. That's not going to fix it. For sure it's not going to fix it. It is funny they've got a PKG for Homebrew now. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh. Next step to add Home. Oh, right. Okay. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come into here. Quit that. Okay, go back into here. Okay, and then brew. We'll say brew install SVN. Wow. Okay. Ooh, what's that? Is that getting further? I'm not sure. I don't even know why I'm doing any of this. Well, actually, really, I've gone off track now into just fixing Homebrew, I guess. Oh, SVN. Well, that seems to be doing something. Okay, so we go back to, right, where is it? Documents. What's it called? Brexit. Branches. Yeah, okay. And there's something in here that there isn't. So, okay. So, how do I do this? Right, David Davis. Okay. So what we do is we come into source, I guess. Is that this files? It is. Branches. Add. Okay. That's the other thing you can do. You can lock individual directories and stuff in SVN, which is another thing which makes it useful for people. Right, so we're going to do important. Okay, SVN copy. No space. Copy. Wait, no. How are we doing this before? Make branch. Things like, oh, it gets too complicated. It's a fucking button, man. Okay. These are branches. Okay. Creating a branch is very simple, is it? You can make a copy of your project tree in a repository and using the project source code is written in the calc. Oh, that's trunk directory. That's the directory you'll copy. Where should your copy live? Wherever you wish. Okay. So what we'll do then is we'll just do SVN copy. Yeah. So I've got to put in the URL for this, right? Otherwise it will fuck up. Is that correct? So if I just do... It's so funny. It's EU Subversion and my thing's called Brexit.assembler. Anyway. Okay, and then what was the rest of that? It said... I wasn't really paying attention. It said... Are they in... No, they're not in some... I don't know what the backspace, the back thing's for. Hopefully it's not some sort of like lame, they're in Windows doing something. Who knows? Right, and then... what was it there? Okay, and then we're going to call it Bums Test... was it Bums Trunk... Wait. Hang on. I just want a button that does this for me. I said, oh, I'll put a name in because this is just like I can't be bothered to learn this thing, right? Oh no, trunk. There we go. Or is it? No, wait, I'm in the wrong fucking place. Anyway. What we're gonna do? Trunk, and then we're gonna call this one thing, right? And let's watch it, bitch at me, and let's not do it. Should we do a message? Do I have to do it? Okay. I don't know. Is that going to do something? Password for David Davis. Password 123 exclamation mark. And good thing. Source and destination URLs do not appear to point to the same repository. What? What? Oh, okay. So, trunk, and then we're doing in, then branches, thing, right? And then he also had a one of them. So, can't mix repository and working copy sources. What are you talking about? Yeah, so, right. So, we're looking at, yeah, so we're in Brexit that's the one. Trunk, there we go. And then, yeah, the next bit is, so yeah, then it's branches, yeah, which is correct, is it? And then I'm calling it thing. And it's saying cannot mix repository and working copy source. What are you talking? Oh, hang on, wait. Okay, let's do that again. Is that because no? All right, I thought it's because I was inside the folder. I am finding this weirdly very complicated. Maybe I'm dumb. I could be. So let's go to here. Right, let's just do this. Okay, so important. Okay, we've added important. Can't remember what I was doing with this. Oh, shut up. Whatever. And then, so now if we do copy, what happens? There has branches called important, and then how do I? So I guess I must already have a. Do I already have a branch if I've done that? No, that'd just be a folder inside. Would that be? What is that? What is that? Source, branches, important. So is this already a branch? No. Oh yeah, it's just a folder. Right. So new merge request. Let's try that out. Trunk, branches. Okay. I've done a thing. Create merge request. Target branch must be the parent. What? Target branch must be. Oh, okay. Two. Wait. No. Reload. Oh my god. Right. Start again. So no. Hang on. No. Source. New. Yeah. Create merge request. Right. From important to trunk. Stuff. There we go. Create merge request. Target branch must be the parent of the. Target branch must be the parent of the. What? Target branch must be the. What does that mean? Target branch must be the parent of the source branch. What? No change. I don't understand. Oh, shut up, Travis. Right, so branches. Excellent. Compare and create merge request. Is this going to do the work for me? There we go. Is that going to do the work for me? No! How does this make... I don't know what this is... What is this? What is this? Why am I confused by this? This should be easy. So, because it's a folder, right? I've made a folder, but I didn't copy it. I just created it, yeah? So, but then trying to create... Let's just... Okay. All right, what we're going to do... From trunk... Here we go. We're going to add... Can we just, like, create a thing from here? And give me, like, a working example of the right way to do it? Instructions. This is just... Yeah, it's a readme, isn't it? So... Source. I don't know. And then, so yeah, so this is treating it. Was updated an hour ago. No, it wasn't. The fuck are you talking about? Lock, add. Oh, this is crap. Ugh. I was experiencing my game and it was awful. Okay, so that's just an example of one of those sort of companies I'm talking about, right? Have you heard of MyGet? You might not have done. They make a shit ton of cash. Just saying. Solve a niche problem. So, I don't care anymore. I think my kind of point was to give it a quick go. I've been weirdly not defeated. That's not right. Hang on. Right. Right. Should we start? Should just get. Okay. Right. Okay. No. Let's not do that. We've got a space called bums. Right. Our space is called bums. Yeah. We're going to create a new repository inside bums. Create new repo. Yeah. Inside bums. And of course one. Oh, hamster. Right. That's what Tories eat for breakfast. Okay. No default structure for trunk. Okay. No. Let's not do that. Okay, there we go. Right, check this out. Right, so we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then it doesn't remember my thing, so I'm David Davis MP, and my password is don't steal, password, what was it? Password 123 exclamation mark. And this one's going to be the colour of, it's going to be brown, the colour of Brexit. There we go. So now, if I, what do I do now? So, it was saying before, right? So let's not put anything in here. We're just going to start. We're going to branch straight away because we're professionals. So creating a branch is very simple. You make a copy of a project tree in the repository using the SVN copy command. Since your project source code is rooted in the trunk, it's that directory you'll copy. So what I'll do then, do I do it locally? You know, I've always seen SVN copy used to copy one file to another working copy, but it can also be used to remote copy. I don't want to do that. Let's do it locally. So what I'm going to do is I'll do the local version because it doesn't explain that earlier. I've jumped ahead admittedly. SVN copy. Hang on, we're going to come back. We're in documents. So it's fine. So and what have we got? We've got did we pull Brexit bums? Oh, I don't know. Wait, did we pull did we do hamster? I thought we just did. We did. All right, so okay, let's just check out. Let's do all of it, right? Check out Brexit bums hamster. Excellent. So what we're going to do is SVN copy Brexit bums. Oh, these files are ugly. Brexit bums. Where are we? Hamster. There we go. And then we're going to do trunk to Brexit bums hamster branches tomato, right? I did it. I did a thing. Look at that. And then, oh, Jesus, come in here, branches. I've got a branch called tomato. Look at that. Commit that. Added a fucking branch. Look at that. Only took me, you know, embarrassing. This whole thing's been so fucking embarrassing. Right. But we're back now. We're in hamster. So we're in source. Let's go to a little reload. We've got this. We've got branches tomato. It wasn't updated an hour ago. It was updated a second ago, you fuck. But we're just going to do... that was a bit mean. Choose two branches. Okay, right. So what we're going to do, right, we're going to come in here. Where are we? Back in here. I'm so slow because my computer's not set up. This is not really my computer. So I'm going to CD Brexit bums hamster branches tomato, and we're going to go touch stuff.md, right? And we're just going to do hx stuff.md. I haven't got Helix. Brew install Cocoon. Let's do that instead because I forgot that I just nuked this, didn't I? So I have none of my anything really, which is good. New release, it's fresh today, right? Okay, and then what's this called again? Stuff.md. Hey, this is a file, and then we're going to write that. Excellent. And then no, that's not right. Go here, and then have we checked out? So we have not checked out tomatoes. So we're going to we're gonna where is it? Wait, no, tomatoes already checked out, isn't it? So we're going to do this. We're going to add and then commit. Added a file about things. Right. Excellent. Commit. Fantastic. That's then gone. So we come back to here, give this a reload. This should actually tell me something. Added a fucking branch. Look at that. And added a file about things, create merge request. Now I've got like a PR type situation on the go. So now I guess I review. Wonderful. Files 1. This feels a bit weird. Doesn't really tell me much. Jesus, where's the actual contents? Oh, there it is. Forgot. Right, so we've got that. This is not very well put together, so it feels a bit shit. Anyway, thumb up. Don't know what that means, but merge. Are you sure you want to merge MR? Yeah, I do. But now what the fuck do I do? Status submitted. Cool. Now what? So, source. Commits. Is that how that works? No. Where is like just my like timeline type thing? Okay. Trunk. Merge branch tomato into trunk. Okay, so now if I come back into here, so I've got my trunk, which has nothing in it. So now if I pull this down, right, do that, I should, there we go, yeah, so it took a second. And then I just get a little pull, and then, hey, I've got stuff. And then I didn't delete this. Hang on, so could I have just like copied that? Let's just like do that and then do that. Copy item, and then is this going to be like, I don't know, frangipans. Right, so now I've done a copy. Commit that. Added another bloody thing. Didn't I? Yeah. Wonderful. Right. So now, if I come back to source, it should give me another. It did. Okay, well I can just do that from there. That's less annoying. So yeah, frangipans wasn't updated an hour ago. It was just now. Fuck off. So now, if I go into frangipans, which is or is not checked out. Let's have a look. Where are we? It is. So CD, frangipans, and then we're going to just do like this. No, let's just do a directory. So I'm going to call this one like, I don't know, source, right? And then we're just going to do ketchup, right? Dot RB, make it a Ruby file, why not? And then we just do this. So, oh, I haven't got that here. Cac source, tomato. Oh no, it's ketchup. Ketchup.rb. There we go. And then we'll just do thing equals. Let's just make it a string of stuff. And then no, let's just do like. Oh, let's just do this. Let's just do like, I don't know, things, and then this is just sort of like, I don't know, bats, hammers, noodles. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. There's something, right? And then we're going to be like, I don't know, yeah, tea. There we go. Technically, we've created some. We've done a code, lads. It's fantastic. So we'll get a lovely thing which will just spit out the things in our beautiful array. This is hardcore. This is how we do things. This is you know, the hardest of hardcore. And has that got? Yeah, it has. All right. Ketchup. The most important code I ever wrote. Excellent. Commit that. So now this should have a thing in it. So here we go. So branches from update an hour ago. Wow, I better get on that. It's been sat there for an hour. I need this file. It's so useful. There we go. And then yes, do that again. Create a merge request, and then I'm not even going to thumb up it. I'm just going to merge. Let's do a review. Let's have a look. Files. So just going to first off look at. So we've got that. Oh, okay. It does do whatever. Can I? No comments. There's blame. Is there a blame? It's not really. Anyway. I don't know what that means. Don't know what this means. The character here. Right, so we're going to go merge. There we go. I'm going to merge all this shit in. Looks great. Fantastic. Oh, I forgot to delete merge. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, they are merged. Alright, okay, this makes sense. So now, come back to here. That's the last time I'm going to do it. Go to Brexit bums.test and then, no, this one, Brexit bums hamster. Download that. Wonderful. And now I've got sauce and I've got ketchup. Because ketchup is a sauce. So, that's okay. That feels like clunky, but that feels like actually a surprisingly workable workflow. I don't know what happens if should we just can I? How do I do this? Right. So can I just check out source? Right. What happens if I check out? Can I do that? No. Wait. Hang on. So inside trunk, there's that now, right? So if I come in here. Right, so wait, where am I? I have to switch because to get back to trunk, I have to come out and I have to go into the folder. 'Cause it's not really a branch, right? So I go into the folder, which is the trunk folder, make changes there. Then if I went back out and into frangipans, right, which isn't deleted because I didn't delete it, then I make a because also actually just check this out specifically. Can I do that? I should be able to do that. Is that an option? That's not there. I don't know why that's not there. That makes no sense. Branches. Can I? Again, I was not confused, and now I'm sort of a little bit confused again, because I thought with branches you could just check these out as files, but apparently, can I do that from here though? And I go to branches, and it's just our frangipans. There we go. Can I check out? Okay, right. Yeah, I can, but only because that's my That's confusing. Because I've got frangipans locally as a fold, because it's not a branch, it's a folder, right? So, although I've got my trunk which contains the thing branches, which contains frangipans, because I've got this, I can pull this down separately, right? Check that out as it's just go into the frangipans, right? So now I come out of here and then just do just do this, isn't it? Documents, frangipans, branch, cool, whatever. And then what we got on here? Okay, so then let's just do other stuff. .md. Don't put anything in it. Doesn't matter. Right. So now in frangipans, I've got other stuff. .md. Yeah. Coming to here. I'm going to add that. That's committed. Commit. Whatever. Yeah. Gone. Gone. Is that gone? It is. So now we've got other stuff on there, right? So inside here, if I add, I can't do that from here, can I? Can I? No, I can't. So if I come out of here, so let's go back to documents, Brexit hamster, cool. Brexit. I should give things separate names. And then I do branches, frangipans, right in here. I don't have that, so I do touch, and I also call this, what did I call that file before? I can't. Oh, other stuff. .md, right? And then okay, and then this is the contents of the stuff, right? Cool. So now on here, we're going to frangipans. I've got other stuff.md which contains shit. It contains stuff. So I'm going to add commit. Some other words, right? Aha! Working copy is not up to date. file. Okay, so what does this mean then? So working with is not up to date. Frangipan's other stuff is out of date. Update or working copy before trying to commit again. So what I'm going to do, we'll do that and we'll fail the commit. We'll do that and we'll update instead. So we'll do update working copy. And will that now, so if I come back into here and I just do cac other stuff, this is the content of the stuff. So that's I don't know why. I think it's because I've not used any of this. It feels much more confusing because then that's still on a branch, right? And that branch isn't closed, yeah? So where we've updated something, so now I've got other stuff, go in here, content of stuff. So it's figured out that it's, because I've not updated, it said, hey, you need to update first because we've already got, on your trunk, we've already got other stuff.md because you've added that via the, so in the checked out branch of Frangipans, which is what we did, right? So we went into the checked out branch of Frangipans. Where are we? Here we go. Yeah, so you went to Frangipans. Right, no, we're here. Yeah. Or did we? No, we did this here. Yeah, that's fine now. So yeah, we went into our main like little repo thing, went into Frangipans, right? Added a file, and then what we did is we went back out to in our checked out version of Frangipans, right, which is a folder, we created other stuff, right? Then we went back to Brexit Bums Hamster branches. You following? Branches Frangipans. Then we also created other stuff. Then actually added something to the file, right? So it correctly kind of stuck the two together, all right? So it went from the branch, which I pushed first, the branch, then my trunk then updated itself saying, hey, you can't put, you have to pull first to push. So then it pulled itself a empty version of the file, and I pushed up the contents, right? In a one shot. I think that's what happened. I think that's what, is that? Okay. I think that's what happened, right? So, cool. So, but then now, because we haven't closed this off, right? We did a merge request, and we've added something new to here. So will this detect this as a new? It does. Okay, so I can just sort of be like, let me just continue merging this stuff in. So again, this can just live kind of forever, right? So if I do a new merge request, but I think there's an option. No, hang on. Source. Branches, Frangipans. New merge request from Frangipans. There we go. Same title. That works. But there's files. And all we've got is commits is that. So files. Yeah, because my... Well, anyway. Let's see what happens. So if I merge, is there an option here to say, I think there was an option before it said you could delete after you've merged. Merge. Yeah, why not? Okay. Conflict. Aha! Right, so now what? You go in here, and to get check. Oh, I can't do that here. So what? So it's not really showing me anything, I guess. So now I'd have to go. I'm not bothering to do that. I can't be bothered. If I click merge, what's going to happen? It'll just bitch at me. Merge, yeah, has already been queued for processing. So this is going to just bitch at me because of the conflict. That will be the conflicting contents of the file, or the fact that the previously merged file's got an older date stamp than no, it's got a newer. The one in directly in the trunk has got a newer date stamp than the one in the branch, so it will be fucking about with this. So should we just do this quickly? So let's just do, to get changes, we'll do SVN, let's do this, let's do this, and do this. So yeah, SVN, switch, okay. It's annoying you have to have the URL to hand, which is kind of lame. So update to revision 9. So then we do merge branches Frangipans. This is not good so far. Okay, I don't know what's happened then, but anyway, to fix conflicts, didn't really tell me much. Recording merge info for merge, I don't know what that means. Is there like a file that's added or something? No, didn't look like it. There's a tag though. Don't know what that means. So there's that. And then to fix conflicts, we will switch to this. So this is now our, yeah, so trying to merge in the branches. Yeah, so we've gone into trunk, SVN merge, and we're choosing, I don't know what needs this, branches, frangipans, and then we're going to go back to switch to the branch, and then we're going to merge the trunk into the branch, which makes sense. Let's just do, yeah, merge the files. A file should be added to a repository in the next commit and was found in the working copy. A new file appeared during switch to, that's what we're trying to do. Excellent. So this is not amazing. Coming to here, SVN merge just back into trunk. Yeah, so going back to what, and we're just going to finish up after we've done this, and then we'll fix this and we'll move on. Committing transaction, committed to revision 10, and then we come to here, this should be gone. There we go. And then let's do a merge the MR. So the MR is not really anything. It still says conflict, but who cares? The point is, yeah, the point is, this is, yeah, and now I'd have to actually learn SVN to fix that, and I can't be asked. The bottom line is, right, all of that, what we've just done there, is, and yeah, again, it's part of it, like my lack of knowledge, or of anything really, but no, my lack of sort of familiarity with sort of like quote-unquote modern SVN, is that I was already a little bit annoying, and it's just the simplest little thing, and I put myself in a situation where I knew that's kind of going to happen, but, and again, yeah, I need to know what I'm doing now to fix this, which is, you know, what it is, what it is. The point is, you know, like, unless you're in that scenario, and there must be in the meantime, this is when we move on to the next part of the video, which I might have time for because I need to eat something, but the next part of the video, or the stream, was going to be me looking at, so effectively this has all been a recap, right? But the next part of the video was me looking at other alternatives that are not shit, because going back to what I was saying earlier, right, is the older version of the thing that isn't in the zeitgeist anymore still quite good? It just doesn't have the intention on it. In the case of SVN versus Git, the answer to that question is a massive fuck off resounding no. The thing in question is rubbish. Not rubbish, but like, everything's just happened there, irrelevant of my difference in familiarity, right? Because it's weirdly not transferable, because I've got the complexity of, although it's a simpler system, right, I have to think about managing folders, yeah, which I have vague recollections of back in the day, because I think it lures into a little bit of a false sense of security, where the more rigid idea of like, you are now on an ephemeral trunk, not sort of ephemeral branch, whatever, which is just a marker against a commit, right? That's all that is. Or it's just a little, it's nothing, right? It's just nothing. It's easy. And obviously you can get yourself in trouble and Git as well, but the point is there's less clarity about what I would have to do to fix this. There's less clarity in all of it. I think this MR thing is just made up fluff. I don't think it's actually, I think this is just something that this company, I'm not sure actually, but my gut says, let's just find out. This merge request thing, merge request SVN, I would wager is, yeah, it's just an assembler thing. Merging, yeah, merge request, handling merge request, it's going to say, this will probably mention something about assembler. That's going to be assembling, I'm sure. If it's not, that's fine. Anyway, whatever, the point is, even if it isn't, yeah, I don't know. It just feels, it feels its age, you know? It feels like we've solved these problems a few times over, and if you're outside that scenario with, basically, it's like that thing of like, if you don't need the things it does, you don't need it. And I think for general garden variety developer people, there is no benefit to SVN anymore. Just don't use it. I've used Mercurial back in the day, but Mercurial is literally dead. And sadly, Mercurial is like actually quite nice, to be honest. I got forced to, well, so I worked at a software company that used it, but I worked on a personal project with a technologically minded individual who's a significantly superior Um, like he's a fantastic, incredible software engineer. Um, several intellectual rungs above me on the ladder, sort of thing. But he just never done any web stuff. So he's like, "Can you build me a website?" I'm like, "Well, you could do this, but I just don't think you want to learn." So, but anyway, he was like, "You need to." He's like, "You're going to do source control." I went, "Yes," and I went, "I'm going to do it in Git." And he went, "No, you're going to do it in Mercurial." And I went, "Okay." So I did like an SSG site, an ancient SSG. This is like going back 10 years. And that was Mercurial, and I used that for that project, and I actually quite liked it. And that was back when you supported it in what's it called, Bitbucket. So I was using Bitbucket for that, and Source Tree and all that sort of shit. But yeah, don't use SVN. SVN is cringe, unless the asset thing. So here's the thing, right? Like, so I think what I'd do, I would probably revisit this if we're in that scenario again, where me and a buddy are working on a games project, and I've got a place where I dump in assets, and all he's doing is just updating that folder. That's a really good scenario, because we don't have to interact with each other, right, to do that. And they're always different, they're always deselected. As long as he's okay with the idea of having a linear history for what he's writing, or however he wants to manage branches his own end, we could probably get on with it. If there's just the two of us, right? I think if you're working with a bunch of people, I'm not sure. I think it'd probably be quite annoying, and I feel like that merge request thing is just some shit that they made up. It might not be. I could be talking out of my arse, but also there's so little documentation around now for SVN that's modern that it's hard to see whether or not this is even a thing. I think they just sort of wrapped a bunch of stuff around the mergers to give it some sort of formal structure, because really PRs, all that really is kind of like you know what I mean? It's, you know, so it's not that different, but it just feels less, because this is worse, right? This is not as good as GitHub. It just feels a little bit, not half-assed, but Bums is powered by assembler. But this is, again, one of these things. If you need this is going to be fantastic, because it's, again, you're solving a more niche problem, and I'm just pretending to be David Davis, Brexit MP, because we all love Brexit. Disable, hide that, yeah, get rid of that shit. Who the fuck wants an intercom bubble anywhere? That's the end of that sentence. What's the new navigation? What does that do? That looks the same. Okay. Well, I'm sure this is a perfectly acceptable tool if you're using SVN or Perforce. I know Perforce have their own all of this, so don't know why I'd use this over that, but there must be some reason. What were they saying before about a different... Let's just look at SVN hosting. Fast Visual SVN, UpCloud. So there are companies that do this. 11 years ago. Best SVN. They're obviously going to say us, right? They're the world's leading SVN. I mean, because no one's doing it. It's like saying I'm the best person at being me. Bitnami do everything though. Silk SVN. What's that? Oh, okay. Europe's leading subversion host. Oh my god. Is it bad that I just hate websites like this? It's like, you're a little business, but you look like it, you know? Does that mean? I think it's quite mean. They were saying before, when I was signing up for my very legitimate, let's get rid of that, my very legitimate account. Oh, it's the Netherlands. I do love Dutch companies. Yeah, I mean... The point is, yeah, like if you need, I mean, this is never really a serious thing. It's just always a bit of fun, and I didn't even get as far as like the dot files thing. But here's the thing: there's two other ones I want to look at, right? And I kind of know which one I want to use already. One is, in fact, I'm not probably not going to look at it. I'm going to look at the one I want to use first, and if I don't want to use it, I won't use it. And again, this is all just fun. But you've got two interesting options. You've got Fossil, and you've got Jujitsu. Jiu-Jitsu seems to be the one I want to use least, only because it's like a wrapper around GitHub, and it's got like a high. No, it seems pretty easy. So like, I think my understanding, again, this is 10 minutes of me googling, right? This is not me with any sort of knowledge, right? But my understanding of jiu-jitsu is it's basically like you don't really have a working copy of the start and end of a change set. So you say I'm creating a change, and then every change you make, it just is there, right? So it creates every single like key you type in, it just saves it, right? The working copy just rolls on forever, and then you can choose to or not choose to give your changes a name. Your change set, you can give it life, give it a name, and there's not really, and then you can merge it back in and that sort of thing. But that's the sort of rough thing. It says there's far fewer moving parts. I think there's a bunch of stuff to sort of maintain state and some clever shit under the hood. Who fucking knows? Point is, I don't know if I like that. I might give it a go. Who knows? But the one I want to try out is Fossil, right? And I have mixed Fossil source control. A bit of a brain fart then. So let's go to Wikipedia. Fossil. Look at that awful logo by D. Richard Hipp. And if you recognise this name, it's because he's the SQLite guy, and he is a truly fantastic software engineer. The SQLite is a fucking marvel. I adore SQLite. I think it's amazing. That's the end of that sentence. It's just amazing. But I think, SQLite's badass. But you must know the thing, right? Like the code of contract. So from what my understanding is, it's easy on here. That was it? SQLite code of ethics. There we go. Code of ethics. I think, here's the thing. If you've not seen this before, you go in here, code of ethics, and you go, posting a box on supply registration forms submitted to the SQLite developers by some clients. However, we subsequently learned the code of conduct has a very specific and almost sacred meaning to some readers, a meaning to which this document does not conform. Oh, I'm not actually read any of this. Therefore, this document is renamed to Code of Ethics, as we are encouraged by Rule 71, in particular, Rule 289 at 18, 19, 30, 66, and the spirit of all the rest. Here's the thing, right? So we scroll down, and it goes, the rule. First of all, love the Lord God with your whole heart, your whole soul, and with your whole strength. Then, love your neighbour as yourself. Do not murder, blah, blah. So I think part of this is, right, it's either legit, or my take is increasingly becoming it might be a joke. And because I was like when I first heard about this, I was like, oh god, I'm so perturbed, because there's like another one which is I love this 3D Code, right? This is a fantastic piece of software by an awesome company, and they're based in Ukraine, which is is what it is. However, if you go into this, they are amazing. They've got this section here called The Voice, and it's basically, hi, without your interest and support, there'd be neither 3D Code nor our company. Don't take us as nerds. We would like to share with you what we believe is important and what lies beyond plain business relationships. We came to understand that 3D Code is getting more and more popular and now is used in many major world game studios and more than 150 universities and schools. We asked ourselves, what are our responsibilities as creators? Blah, 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 blah. We are worried about the fate of society in which depravity and violence are often the norms. Can we change anything? And they basically go into the fact that, where is it? Life's not an easy thing, We do good and we do bad. New Testament states our God is a spirit and I am the spirit too, whatever, blah, blah. And basically down here it goes into, it's around us somewhere. There's some rules, they say, where they're like, please don't use our software to depict fornication or violence or anything that we don't like, because we're powerful God Squad. And it's a bit weird, isn't it? And like I said, this is a fantastic product I absolutely adore, and I just ignore this. And it's so popular as like it's a good, really good sculpting thing, but it's used for like in 3D and retopology and painting. It's absolutely fantastic. Sad, but yeah, 3D coat's awesome. People kind of sleep on it. It's great. It's also priced really well. So if you are by any chance a 3D person, it's a better paint and sculpting package than like Blender. Blender's actually really good at sculpting. I talk a lot of shit about Blender, but not really. I talk fairly about Blender. Like, it's not the best bit of software in the world. People pretend it is. It's not. It's good, very good, but yeah, it's not, you know, all things to all people. But yeah, 3D Coat's a really fantastic sculpting application. It's amazing for retopology. That's changing the topology of 3D objects. It's also a really solid paint program. In fact, if you're doing non-photorealistic painting, it's kind of its two main use cases are retopology, in which case it's between that and like one other thing. It's kind of like the leader in that as a third-party topo program, but also that non-realistic paint. It can do obviously realistic painting, but the brush feel, and there's something about the non-realistic painting that a lot of people really like. It's actually very lovely to paint in. It's a simpler paint system than something like Substance. I prefer it to Substance for painting. I prefer it to obviously I prefer it to ZBrush for sculpting. I think it's just fantastic software, frankly. It's brilliant. It's got a few quirks around it. They are currently in the process of updating their interface, plus also they're a Ukrainian company, but they're a bit religious. But anyway, we're going massive off topic. We're talking about this thing here. So yeah, Code of Ethics, it might actually be a piss take, to be honest, because the fact they're like, this doesn't conform, so we renamed it. What was Rule 71? It encourages in Rule 71, make peace with your adversaries before the sun sets. In particular, also rules 2, then love your neighbours yourself. 8 is honour all people. 9 is do not do to another what you're not done to yourself. 18 is, it's fun, isn't it? Be a help in times of trouble. 19 is console the sorrowing. 30 is do not wrong to anyone and bear patiently wrongs done to yourself. And 66, which is a bit of a weird number, is do not love quarrelling. A part of me is like, is this a joke? Because like I was like chatting to someone about it, because it comes up, people mention it to you, and someone went, you know, that's satire, right? And I went, what? And they sent me a couple of links, and apparently like there's a good thread of people who say this is satire. I'm starting to kind of think it, but yeah, even look at this. Crack is fine, just don't turn to stuff or snob prattling about undertones and vintage. Oh, there we go. Just so everyone understands, the Code of Ethics is not a joke to own the SJWs. I don't know how that... Anyway, the founder of SQLite is a devout Christian and considers the document as a personal ethics guide. The project switched to that. Yeah, because I don't love the code of conduct stuff. They're not amazing. I think it's just sort of like, I prefer don't be a twat. Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. It's fine. Don't be a dick. You're being a dick. Stop it. You've been a dick too many times. You're fucking out. Like, just keep it simple. You don't need to codify. I mean, of a certain size, yeah, absolutely. I agree a lot more there. But, you know, the majority of these projects you don't need to do anyway, to be honest. And you can just, like, unless you're something of the size of, like, you know, Blender's a good example, right? That's full of dickheads, but it doesn't even prevent you from having those dickheads, because a lot of the time the people in the project just ignore it. So, you know. Anyway, right, getting back on topic. So, Fossil comes from the same people who did SQLite, so it's going to be well engineered. So, despite my, whatever that may be with the weird, I mean, you might be religious yourself, who knows, hypothetical viewer. But yeah, it has no place in, like, you know, separation of church and state or not. But obviously it's their software, they can do what they want as well. So, you know, who am I to judge? But it puts people off using SQLite. It puts me off a little bit as well, but not enough to stop using it, because I think SQLite's fucking awesome. So, look at that. They've not even merged the parts of this together. You can see the overlapping ellipses, and besides the fact that, let's not download the SVG and judge the SVG. Let's stay on topic here. Come on. Right, so yeah, so it's basically like all in one, And the thing, from my understanding of Fossil, so what I want to play with is, it just commits. It just commits. So, and it uses SQLite. So, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, SQLite just recovers from stuff. SQLite's like fucking bomb-proof. Like, the only thing that can ever happen with SQLite in the context of web stuff is you can like get a write lock, which is also not that common with write ahead journaling anymore. And then you just got to try again. But like, that's such an unlikely, and in the context of this, so even on the internet, it's an extremely unlikely occurrence because the read and write speeds of SQLite are ludicrously rapid, and because it's just a file, it goes as fast as your hard drive does, right? So if it's on a fast drive, you're going to have someone hitting the same or like the same write, or trying to write simultaneously with the same, like within the same microsecond or whatever, or two. It's so unlikely to actually cause a problem. And then normally a quick auto retry if the lock is engaged sorts it, and WoW sorts it. So it's almost like it does concurrent reads extremely quickly. It doesn't do concurrent writes, but the writes are so insanely fast it kind of doesn't matter unless you're on a really huge traffic system. I've been doing a load of SQLite stuff recently for web stuff, and I've just liked it more and more and more. And the worst case scenario is if you want to use it for a web app, which you should because it's great, so simple to run, most things work, it's so quick, it's like so much faster, it's so fast that N+1s are almost a feature because you can return information so quickly that you can over specify what you return with SQLite, and there's not really any performance hit to doing it. It's crazy. In fact, actually, some developers I really like in the Ruby community are working on a framework where they're effectively making N+1s a feature, which is bananas when you think about it. I still personally avoid it, to be honest, just because of habit. But like, SQLite's so cool, guys. It's so good. Anyway, but yeah, going back to the main point. I've not played with any of this. So we've got a built-in web interface, which is probably awful, which reduces project tracking complexity. I like reducing complexity and promotes situational awareness. I don't know why. It may simply a user may type Fossil UI from any checkout, and Fossil automatically opens the user web browser display page, giving detailed history, status. So yeah, you can run it as a file, you can have it as a server, and it just kind of goes. Apparently, it just kind of goes. It sounds great, and this is what they use to. If you want to see it running, you can just do Fossil. What's it called? Fossil version control, and this is just Fossil running apparently. So the Fossil website is also Fossil, so it's just this, right? So you come in here and you've got a little menu of stuff. It's all very jQuery, but this all just happens, and this is just the actual repo is this, right? So so apparently when you create like branches, I don't know if they're called branches, they might be called something else, or if you just go off in a direction, you can't delete your history. Your history is like completely immutable, right? That's it. Your history is just your history. Everything you've ever done, every experiment, is always going to be there forever. You can't not do it. You can't undo it. That's it. You can't delete anything. It's just right, move on. Pretty cool. Crypto people should fucking love it, but they don't, because it hasn't got enough bullshit attached to it for crypto people to get involved. But no, so the idea is you write this, you move on, and it keeps that history forever. And I think that might be this. You just mark something as basically closed, right? So if you've got a branch you want to sort of let die, you say it's closed, and then apparently, again, I want to see how true this is. If you just return back to it, you can just go back in, start working on it again, and your changes will just work. I don't know how true any of this is, but it sounds interesting. And in terms of like the engineering chops to make it work, if someone's going to build this and have a system like this work, it's going to be the SQLite people, because SQLite, I've got to say it again, is the closest thing you're going to get to actual magic existing on Earth. It's so good. It's so good. So, yeah. Right. I think it's like developed by like 3 people as well, or like the same 3 dudes. I don't. Oh, now they make money doing it. When's this? How this guy? Oh yeah. So SQLite. I think it's like, how many people work on it? Because I know they make money. They do like consulting things. And it's like $1,000 an hour or something, right? So I think they're just sort of like absolutely rolling in cash, because like, if you think that Postgres is like the most popular DB, or MySQL, it is dwarfed by the popularity of SQLite. It's everywhere, because like all of these, like every like desktop application uses it, or not every, but like tons use it. Android uses it, iOS uses it for everything, Safari uses it for your history. It's so good, and it's fucking everywhere. So I think basically it's one of these things where like everyone thinks about, they have to have a B2C business model and sell subscriptions to an end user for $10 a month and capture 5,000 users, and somehow do that and maybe capture the interest of a VC to grow further, because that's what they've seen on the television and that's what they want to be when they grow up. And actually you just need to solve an obscure problem that solves a really big problem for about 12 people with really fucking deep pockets, and they'll pay you a fortune to solve that problem for you forever, and you can just stop. He's got to find an obscure problem. That's the hard bit. Instead of saying, I'm going to make Facebook but for dogs, give me some VC money. And the end goal on that is not normally even having a project in the end. Right, so and also nowadays is Ruby on Rails' default database management system, and Django's. So fun. Anyway, so going back to Fossil. So yeah, this is actually Fossil itself, right? This is what you get with it. So this is like, and again, I need to tiny nip tuck for the info text. Leaf checked in. Is that a thing? A leaf? Using a brick Viking. I'm not a robot. All clear, thank you. It's got like that sort of lovely, hokey, old school software vibe to it that I fucking adore. You know? It's ugly, but that's okay. Software can be ugly. Built-in diff. Lovely jubbly. Alright. Alright. This looks pretty cool. So, I've not really been looking at this so far. I've just been reading on it. So, Fossil is simple, high reliability, distributed with these advanced features. Advanced! Project management. So I don't know what that would look like. Examples. Promoting situational awareness. I don't know what the fuck they mean by that. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. All right. So, self-host friendly, stand-up project websites in minutes using a variety of techniques. Fossil's CPU and memory efficient. I can believe that. Most projects can be hosted comfortably on a $5 a month VPS or a Raspberry Pi. I believe that. You also set up an automatic GitHub mirror. That's kind of funky. Let's look at that. So, beginning Fossil 2.9, you can mirror Fossil-based projects on GitHub limitations. What are those limitations? Wiki, who cares? Cherry-picking mergers. The Git client supports cherry-picking mergers, not record the cherry-pick parents. That's fine. I don't use cherry-picking anyway unless I have to. Non-unique tags. Git requires tags to be unique. Each tag refer to exactly one check-in. Fossil not have the restriction, so it's common for Fossil tags multiple check-ins with the same name. Excellent. I like that. So one thing I was saying previously about like tags in GitHub, one thing I've always not liked is how a tag refers to a single thing, whereas like I've always liked the idea of having a single sort of like more like distributed idea of just tags being tags. It was always misleading, tags, when you go like it's just a milestone. They should call it a milestone or a version, right? But they're called tags. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, you can have multiple changes within Fossil that relate to whatever. So is this open source though? I don't think it probably isn't. Code? Oh, it is. Fossil is designed to support SQLite projects, since we adopted by many other projects as well. Fossil is self-hosted here. you're reading about this on GitHub, then you're looking at the Git mirror of the self-hosted fossil repository. The purpose of that mirror is to test and exercise fossils' ability to export a Git mirror. Nobody much uses the GitHub mirror, except to verify the mirror logic works. You want to know more about fossil, visit blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And because, yeah, it's SQLite means that you can run all of this, because it can just, you've got a full DB, right? And you use the DB itself as the actual version control. And yeah, I imagine this is fast as fuck as well, and it might not have those same problems with asset scale. I don't know. I'll have to find out. So download. How do we do this? So, well, that's weird. Let's just. Can I do this in? Let's do this. Let's go to brew search fossil. Is it there? Okay, fossil, yeah. So brew info fossil. Let's make sure. Not installed. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So brew install fossil. Look at this. I love it. Windows. There's a time where, and like earlier on in this very same stream, I need to finish it actually. I was going Source Hut, right? I was giving this shit for looking like this. Let's go to browse project, whatever. Yeah, fine, fuck it, that one. Right, yeah. Source. Yeah, I was giving this shit for looking like this, right? But I don't give this shit for looking like this. Why is that? Well, because the UX is better. And this can have a Windows XP logo. And I don't give a fuck. In fact, actually, I'm of an age where I find that quite endearing. Because this is better than where is it? Tree. Log. Tree. Log. Where's my... Huh? There. What Ruby on Rails thing? That I don't know what that means. Where's you know what I mean? Browse. Where's my actual history? Is it here? Don't know. You know? Log. Back here again. Here's my history, I think. But where's my branches? Don't know. Tree. There's my file tree. Summary. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to sit, and because it's so uniform, this is what I mean. This gets a pass. I like things to be pretty, if possible, and, you know, I do product design for a living, so I would want these to be... I'm not saying this is, like, the greatest or good by my standards, but it's usable. It's a tool first, ultimately, and this is not hindering my ability to... So, okay, yeah, here we go. Home. Oh, I can understand this. Great. That's going to be my README, or equivalent of. It might be a more complex thing. There we go. I can get my head around this. And then I've got more shit here. And then I can probably edit all of this, I would imagine. If not, I can figure it out. Right now, this is not offending me. Versus this shit. I'm like, this is just amateurish. It's ugly. But ugly in a way that means it's like functionally ugly, not visually ugly. It can look like shit and still be really good. Look at Hacker News. I quite like Hacker News because it's fast. It's alright. It doesn't upset me. That does. Anyway, right, so we should be installed. I need to probably eat something soon. Okay, got search in completions. That's fine. I don't have any of my nice shit. So let's just go to docs. And I'm going to put this over here and keep this over here. And then quick start guide. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go into... in fact, no, we're just going to do this in Finder because it's just going to be way faster to do this. So we're going to go into documents and I'm just going to go whoop, and forget we did any of that. Oh no. Oh, that's a shame. Right. Okay. So, quick start. Fossil single self-contained C program. Cool. Yep. So let's just double check. So fossil. There we go. Misuse at something. Yep, that's fine. So let's just go. Why I'm in here? Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm in the right place. So we're just going to CAC ZSHRC. Do I have? Okay, touch ZSH. Okay, I don't know why that isn't there, but whatever. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to do alias FOSS equals, is it just that? I can't remember. And then fossil, I think that's it. I don't remember the syntax off by hand because I just don't ever remember anything off by hand because that's just how my mind works. Right, so FOSS. No. Oh, I need to, yeah. Oh, oh no, wrong one. No. Okay. Source. ZSHRC, thank you. Wonderful. Now, FOSS. Okay, so that's good. That's going to save me a bit of time. And it's free and open source. Because it is free and open. Is it open source? I assume it is. Because I would probably fork it to make this stuff less cringe. Or would I? That'd be dumb, wouldn't it? I would be dumb. But it does feel like the sort of thing I would do. But then, you know, when do you need updates to your fucking 10-year-old, 15-year-old, whatever the fuck this is? Like, you know, what features are you waiting for? I don't know. Are you? You might be. Who knows? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Right, so, general workflow works with repository files and checkout directories using a workflow like this. Create or clone a repository file, fossil in it. Okay, so if I do, okay. Yeah. Oh. Fossil test. Okay. CD. Is that it? And then we're going to do FOSS in it. And I've realised that what's the thing to do the... whatever. Right, so... okay. FOSS in it. Dave the repository. Oh, initial remote access password is loget. Okay, we're going to keep hold of that. Okay, fun. Okay, Dave. Okay. So Dave's not a directory. So create an empty repository file name. You can name a database anything you like, and you can place it anywhere in your file system. It's traditional, but it's only required if you can use the fossil server directory feature. Okay, so let's just okay, and then okay, and then to Dave dot fossil. Okay, there we go. Okay, okay. Okay. Fossil. Open. Dave. Oh. Okay. Right. Project code. Checkout tags. Trunk. Initial empty check-in. User. Stream. That's me. My name is Stream. So let's do this. So FOSS. Did that work inside here? Let's give it a go. Add. Let's just make it. We haven't got anything, so let's just do touch thing dot markdown. Okay, and then we just do FOSS add thing dot md. FOSS commit. Pico. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then, now what? So your project. Okay. So if I just do what? So, where do I see my fossil? FOSS open Dave.fossil. I just did that. Okay, so If your project directory already exists, obviating the make directory step will instead need to add the force flag to open convention name your checkout directory for a long-lived branch name like trunk and support fossils ability to have as a menu checkout open checkouts that you like. This authors frequently additional checkouts named release, scratch, etc. The release directory is open to the branch to say, okay, so cloning existing repository. Okay. Right, I'm gonna jump off the stream. I gotta read this properly because I need to engage my mind. I'm getting so hungry. I'm like, you know that thing where you're like, I can't see, I can't think, I can't breathe until you're something here with me. That song, right? That's where that song comes from. Having the rumbly tumblies like I've got right now. So, FOSS status. Okay. Not very readable at the minute, but I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to go eat some foods in my little tummy, and then thank you very much for no one who has been here watching. As people have come in and out.